Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we're covering Marowak. Marowak being a pretty cool Pokemon, base 80 attack, so not the most amazing attack in the world, but it does have a specific item called the Fit Club, which doubles the attack, which doubles the attack. So obviously making your attack go from 284 to 568, I think that is. So it's very, very high, makes you very good in your attack stat as long as you're holding the Fit Club. Good defense as well. Pretty lackluster speed, but that does make it viable for a Trick Room team. And I guess, yeah, defensively it can work as well. It can live a few hits. So today you've got two generic of the Cantonian Marowak, two generic Lowland Marowaks, and then we've got one Dynamax Marowak, which can work for both sets. And I'll talk about that when we get there. So first of all, we have a... Excuse me, we've got the hiccups. We have Cantonian Marowak. On the set, as I said, we have Fit Club, doubling our attack power. We have Rock Head, meaning that we take no recoil from our moves. So our Double Edge here is not going to cause any recoil for us, which can be really helpful. Other abilities that we have option to, you have Lightning Rod, which is kind of pointless on this set because you're not special and you're also already immune to electric, so it doesn't really matter. And the Battle Armor as well, not being able to be struck by a critical hit is a little bit lackluster in the sense of you've got Rockhead here, so that allows for it to work. Move-wise, Earthquake, powerful ground type attack, hits a variety of different Pokemon, boosted by Stab, so it gets that 1.5 times damage. Double Edge, powerful normal type attack, again hitting a variety of different Pokemon. Basically, between those two moves, you have neutral on every single Pokemon, except unless it's like a Levitate Ghost type Pokemon. You have Iron Head, powerful Steel type attack, again hits a variety of different Pokemon, and Stone Edge to hit flying types which you can't hit with your stab. So there's a good variety of moves that you have there. Obviously with Marowak, you want to always go with things like Fit Club rather than the Choice Band. Choice Band only gives you a 1.5 times bonus to your attack and locks you to the move. So having Fit Club to double your attack without being locked into a move is always going to be superior. EVs have gone for max HP and max attack with Adamant Nature, so more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. Moving on to our second set, so on here, depending on if you want to focus more on the physical attacking or the kind of support aspect of this, you could go for a Fit Club. I've gone for Leftovers because you can focus more on a support side here. I put a Lightning Rod as the ability just to show it off, but realistically, none of your abilities work here, except for Battle Armor. Battle Armor will probably be the best ability in this sense. But move-wise, we have Knock Off. This gets rid of items, and let's face it, so many Pokemon become a lot less scary without their item. Stealth Rock to set up the rocks, obviously causing a lot of damage to, or 25% damage to bug types, flying types, fire types, and ice types when they come in. And if it's a combination, that's even more damage. But that is really nice. Does a lot of damage to different Pokemon. Earthquake, obviously your strong stab ground type attack, it's going to be your staple in hitting a variety of different Pokemon. Now obviously do be cautious of grassy terrain with Earthquake because grassy terrain does half the power. Just having a look to see if there is an option for a ground type attack down here. So you've got things like Dig and Bulldoze which you can use, and possibly even Stomping Tantrum which is 75% power. It's just because obviously things like Grassy Terrain Rillaboom have come, or Grassy Surge Rillaboom have come very common, and having Earthquake means that you're going to be doing less damage, so do consider that. Then we have Toxic, which is a transfer only move, so you would have to transfer a Marowak already knowing Toxic from a previous generation. And Toxic is really effective in my opinion, for slowing down setup sweepers. So either they're not going to be able to set up as much as they wanted to, meaning that they're not going to be able to sweep all of your Pokemon, or they will set up as much as they want to and they'll be limited on a timer. So I think Toxic is really effective there. EVs, we've got max HP and max defense with a Impish Nature, so more defense, less special attack, and 4 EVs in attack, just boosting that Earthquake and Knockoff ever so slightly. Moving on to a Lowland Marowak. On here, this first set I've gone for a Swords Dance. So obviously with the Fit Club, you're already getting the double in your attack power from 284 to, I think I said 568, which your Swords Dance will double that again to 1,136, I think. I might be wrong with that, but obviously very, very high. Having that attack, if you ran a Trick Room as well, you would be golden pretty much. You would be able to potentially sweep a team. Move-wise, I've gone for Flare Blitz, powerful fire type attack, obviously boosted by Stab, hits a variety of different Pokemon. Earthquake just again hits generic Pokemon. You can hit things like Rock types, which are super effective against you. And then we have Shadow Bone, which is, I believe, an exclusive move for Lowland Marowak, and is base 85 power, and hits a variety of different Pokemon as well. Now, abilities, you could go for Curse Body or Lightning Rod here. I think Rock Head doesn't really matter because you could use Rock Head. So all three abilities here are viable depending on what you want to do. Curse Body, if you're going to get hit, you can disable that move, so that can be a benefit. You've got Lightning Rod to give you that electric immunity, so you can possibly even get in for free. And then you've got Rock Head, which means you won't take the recoil damage from the Flare Blitz. So it's entirely up to you based on how you run your Pokemon and what kind of way you run your teams. It's very kind of specific in that sense that you feel comfortable with the ability that you pick. Eevee's gone for max HP and max attack with Adamant Nature, some more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs and special defense, or you can read it off how it is on the screen there. The second Marowak I've gone for, now I went for an Assault Vest Power-Up Punch here, which I think is quite interesting. You could always go for like Power-Up Punch with the Thick Bone if you wanted to. Is it Thick Bone? I've just completely drawn a blank. Thick Club, the Thick Club. But yeah, I thought we'll work with the Power-Up Punch with the Assault Vest. If you don't know, Assault Vest means you can't use any status moves, you have to use attacking moves. But your special defense is 1.5 times, so that could be really helpful. Power-Up Punch, increasing up your attack by 1 stage each time you use it. You've then got Body Slam, which can paralyze different Pokemon, that could be helpful for you. Iron Head hits a variety of different Pokemon, and Thunder Punch, again, hitting a variety of different Pokemon. You could always put Shadow Bone and Flare Blitz on here. If you wanted to, it's entirely up to you what you decide to go for. Eevee's gone for max HP and max attack with Adamant Nature, some more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs and special defense. You could always go max HP, max special defense if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you based on what you want to run a Lowland Marowak for. Finally, we have this Dynamax set, which this could be either Marowak. I'll talk through some slight differences that we could have. I put Thick Club as the item because obviously, as I said, is the superior item to have. And we've put Basalama here. You could go for Rock Head or Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is probably going to be more the case in a Lowland Marowak, but it's definitely an option to run the Rock Head if you want to, if you go for things like Flare Blitz. And move-wise, we've got Dynamic Punch, which is a fighter-type attack. When your Dynamax turns into Max Knuckle, increasing up your attack stat. Earthquake does the same with Max Quake in your special defense. Iron Head with defense and max steel spike, and then Aerial Ace can increase up your speed or your partner speed if you're in doubles. So 4 very, very good moves there, very useful moves, and when you're out of Dynamax, you can choose any of those moves and actually use them in battle as well. So Aerial Ace obviously hitting things like grass types, super effective damage. If you're going for a Lowland Marowak, again, you could go for like the Aerial Ace and the Dynamic Punch if you want to go for more of a speed set. If you're less worried about the speed set, you could definitely go for things like Flare Blitz, you could go Shadow Bone, you have Thunder Punch to have the ability to set up some terrain if you want to. But yeah, variety of different options that you can actually use with Marowak, and it can be a very, very good sweeper when Dynamaxed. Eevee's gone for max HP and max attack with the Adamant Nature, some more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs and special defense. If you're going for the Aerial Ace max Airstreams, then possibly consider going max attack, max speed, but that is entirely up to you what you decide to go for. Anyways, that is all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.